Okay, so we've all heard the term digital transformation thrown around, right? But what's really driving it? What's the one secret ingredient that makes it all work? Well, it's data. And today, we're going to dig into exactly how it changes, well, pretty much everything.
I mean, just think about this quote for a second. The Economist said this way back in 2017. The big shift was already happening. The most valuable thing on the planet wasn't something you drill out of the ground anymore. It was something you could gather from a screen. And that idea right there has totally flipped our world on its head.
Hey, you don't have to look very far for the proof. Just glance at the stock market. The biggest, most valuable companies out there aren't the old oil giants. Nope, they're tech companies. And what's their secret sauce? They are all absolute masters at collecting, understanding, and using data.
I know digital transformation can sound like this big, fluffy corporate buzzword. So let's make it real. We're going to tell a simple story about a farmer selling grain, and you'll see exactly how data changes the entire game from the ground up.
So, check this out. The old way? The farmer was basically flying blind, relying on an old almanac for prices, wasting a whole day waiting in line, and then waiting weeks for a paper check to show up. Now, picture the digital way. We're talking real-time price alerts, pinging your phone, scheduling an exact time to show up, and getting paid almost instantly. The difference is just night and day.
And, the old way wasn't just slow and inefficient, it was flat out risky. A check gets lost in the mail, a paper receipt gets misplaced. That could be a financial disaster. We're not talking about small inconveniences here. This stuff could literally threaten a person's livelihood. Okay, so here's where it all clicks. Getting access to data means real money. In our farmer story, a simple notification on their phone let them know about a price jump of 10 to 20%. That is huge. That's the difference between just getting by and having a fantastic year, all because they had the right info at exactly the right time.
So having cool tech is one piece of the puzzle. But as we saw with the farmer, the real power, the real transformation, happens when people actually use that information to make smarter choices. This is where the magic happens. It's not about the gadgets, it's about the culture.
So what do we even mean by a data-driven culture? Well, simply put, it's a place where you make decisions based on facts and evidence, not just gut feelings or the way we've always done it. And to make that work, you need leaders who are bought in, teams who know how to read the data, and good, strong rules, what we call governance, to make sure the data is solid.
And when you get this culture right, the benefits just start stacking up. It's like a flywheel. You make better decisions, which makes you more efficient. That efficiency gives you time to find new opportunities. And when you seize those, you lower your risk and get a massive leg up on the competition.
Okay, let's try a little thought experiment. Imagine you're in a big meeting. The company is ready to go global. The question on the table is, where do we go next? How do you even begin to make that call?
See, this is the moment of truth. The old school bias-driven way, maybe the CEO picks a country because they had a great vacation there once. But a data-driven team asks different questions. Where are we already seeing some sales? Which market is growing the fastest? It's strategic, it's objective, and it's way, way more likely to work out.
Okay, so we've got the data. We're building the culture. But where does all this data actually live? How do we make it available to everyone? Well, that brings us to the engine that makes all this possible, the cloud. It's crazy to think about, but it wasn't that long ago that data was literally trapped. It was stuck in a metal filing cabinet or locked away on someone's desktop computer. If you weren't physically in that office, the data was totally useless to you. Trying to work together was an absolute nightmare.
The cloud just blows all those old limits out of the water. All of a sudden, you've got nearly infinite storage, and you get world-class security from day one. You only pay for what you actually use, which saves a ton of money. But for me, the real game changer is collaboration. Now your whole team can tap into the same data from anywhere, sparking ideas you never would have found before.
And let's talk money for a second. Building your own data center means a massive upfront cost that you're stuck with. The cloud completely flips that script. It becomes a flexible cost you can control. You just pay for what you need when you need it. It's just a much smarter way to run a business.
And security is a big one, right? For most companies, trying to build security that's truly world-class is almost impossible. But with a major cloud provider, you get that expertise baked right in. Like with Google Cloud, your data is automatically encrypted all the time, whether it's just sitting there or moving across the internet. Think about that. That's a massive headache you and your team just don't have to worry about anymore. All right, let's tie this all together. We have valuable data. We have a culture ready to use it.
and we have the cloud technology to power it all. So what happens when you put those three things together? You get a real, lasting, competitive advantage.
So here it is. This is the simple formula for winning in today's world. See, just having data doesn't do you any good, and having a great culture without data is just a bunch of well-intentioned guessing. But when you combine the right data with a culture that actually uses it on a cloud platform that makes it all possible, that is how you win.
So I want to leave you with one final thought. Take a look at your own job, your own team, maybe even your own life. Just like that farmer, what's that one thing you do that's still stuck in the old way? That one process that relies on paper or gut feelings? Because the answer to that question, that could be your next huge opportunity.